On to new fallout now from Donald Trump's contentious Oval Office meeting with South Africa's president earlier this week. During that meeting, President Trump held up some printouts of news articles and images that he claimed were evidence of a genocide against white South Africans. Well, as Reuters reports, one of the images is actually from Reuters video of a mass burial in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It does not depict dead white farmers in South Africa, as Mr. Trump and the White House claimed in front of the South African president and in front of journalists in the White House. For more now, let's go to CNN's Larry Madowo joining us from Nairobi in Kenya. This Congo confusion, Larry, how are people where you are reacting to it?
It is shocking to a lot of people because, as I said after that meeting, based on my own reporting in this region and especially from 15 years in South Africa, a lot of what President Trump used to justify this persecution and murders of white farmers was just untrue. And this is another evidence. When I saw him hold up that picture, I thought it looked familiar. We now know, and Reuters is confirming, that this picture of body bags is not from South Africa. It's actually from the Democratic Republic of Congo. It's from a mass burial in Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo on February 3rd. And the Reuters video journalist Jafar Al-Katanti, who took that video, was surprised to see the president hold up that picture. It's a screen grab that links to a Reuters video from that day. It follows a big assault on that Goma city in the eastern DRC by rebels named the M23, and that was the effect. A lot of people were killed on that day and the days before, and this was a mass burial that was carried out by the International Committee of the Red Cross, and Reuters were the only news organization that were allowed in to film that. So this picture does not depict the deaths of white farmers in South Africa, as President Trump led President Ramaphosa to believe. And the wider question, the point that President Trump was trying to make here, is that lots of farmers in South Africa are getting killed or getting executed, even though he used evidence that does not support that. That picture was from an American conservative online magazine that had talked about both Goma, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and South Africa. And the South African foreign minister was on Amanpour last night, and he brought some statistics with him.
In the last 4 years, 225 farm attacks, 101 farm dwellers who are majority black, 55 farm owners who are majority white. So that is a period of 4 years, and that does not represent a genocide. But it is still unfortunate. It should not happen because any crime, it is a crime. And that's why the president then stated that we are dealing with a crime situation.
And that is the argument the South Africans were trying to make in the Oval Office. They have a crime problem, not a murder of farmers. In fact, farm murders, last year when we looked at it, 0.2% of the overall total pool, a small percentage.
Yeah, we've been here before. Donald Trump and his press folks using material out of context, so we can now add South Africa to the list. Larry Madowo, thank you so much for your reporting.
More on that contentious meeting between South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and President Trump from yesterday afternoon. You'll remember the White House played a video purporting to back up claims that Afrikaners in South Africa are victims of genocide. Mr. Trump showed a video of crosses lining the side of a road, claiming it was a burial site of murdered white farmers. It wasn't. Today, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was pressed about the video by NBC reporter Yamiche El-Sendor.
The president showed a video that he said showed more than 1,000 burial sites of white South Africans that he said were murdered. We know that that was not true and that the video wasn't showing that. So I wonder, why did the president choose to show that? What's not true, Yamiche? It's not true that the video was showing a burial site. It is unsubstantiated that that's the case.
No, it is true that that video showed the crosses that represent.
Which is what the president claimed.
The video showed images of crosses in South Africa about white farmers who have been killed and politically persecuted because of the color of their skin.
The president
and those
claimed
crosses
that
are representing their lives. Those crosses are representing their lives in the fact that they are now dead and their government did nothing about it. Are you disputing that there's no...
I'm disputing the fact that the video showed what the president claimed it showed, because it did not show that. But even more, what I'm asking you is who at the White House...
it did show that. It showed white crosses representing people who have perished because of racial persecution.
Verifies the videos that the president shows, and what protocols are in place when there's unsubstantiated information being put out for the world and world leaders to show?
Yamiche, what's unsubstantiated about the video? The video shows crosses that represent the dead bodies of people who were racially persecuted by their government. In fact, the Associated Press, of all places, has a picture of that very monument, and the caption from the Associated Press is, "Each cross marks a white farmer who has been killed in a farm murder." So it is substantiated, not just by that video and the physical evidence that everybody saw on display in the Oval Office, but also by another outlet in this room, the Associated Press. So you should take it up with them if you believe the claim is unsubstantiated, and that's a ridiculous line of questioning.
Well, keeping him honest, it's not what President Trump said yesterday. Let's listen to what he actually said.
These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. But, okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa.
Well, the South African president there at the end asking where the burial site is because he'd never seen it. It's because it does not exist. It's not a burial ground. It's video from 5 years ago of a vigil created after a white farming couple was robbed and murdered. That was a tragedy, as is any murder, and the people actually who killed them were convicted of it. It was not ignored. The killing shook the Afrikaner community, and a neighbor of the couple erected the crosses to honor them and other farmers who had been killed across South Africa. It's not a burial site, he told the BBC today, the person who made this memorial. It was a memorial. It was not a permanent memorial that was erected. It was a temporary memorial. Now, in addition to the claim of a burial ground, there was an article that President Trump held up as further proof of genocide of white farmers in South Africa.
These are all white farmers that are being buried.
Well, we tracked down the source of the image in that article, and it's actually not from South Africa. It is a screen grab of Reuters video from Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and was from February when over 2,000 people were killed in clashes between the government and a rebel group. Now, the sick irony is that none of the black people fleeing violence or persecution in DRC Congo or anywhere else in Africa would be allowed into the United States right now as refugees. Only white Afrikaners, based on claims of a genocide which is not actually occurring.